The contents in this video may be offensive to some viewers. The contents as in paintball gun that's not connected to any paint, so the owner of this video does not condone to the violence. I actually think The Purge is dumb and you shouldn't resort to violence ever. Viewer discretion is advised. Reba Banjo presents spookyFest, hosted by Catwoman. It's me again. Are you excited? Are you excited? Don't mess with me. I got the Glock. Alright. You know, I can't be Catwoman without doing a few of her scenes. Okay, are you guys ready?
Bats with cats now? Ugh. I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Batman,
Lie still. You've been hurt.
not that bad. Get the clown.
Here, I'll be watching the true story behind The Conjuring. Am I gonna be scared? I hope I'm not gonna be scared. Okay, I'm kind of nervous. This is the true story behind The Conjuring. If you guys haven't heard of it, The Conjuring is actually a very scary movie these days. Well, growing up, my younger age, I wasn't really scared of The Conjuring. The Conjuring was one of those movies that only the jump scares would scare you. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on The Conjuring. Stay tuned. I may or may not be doing a video on The Conjuring. I won't make any promises on that one. Let's get into this video. Based on a true story, so if you're scared of anything scary that's based on a true story, we're alone in this one because, yeah, me too. And I'm here by myself, so I better not get scared of this one. You're gonna notice in my face that I'm scared.
When horror movies claim they're based on a true story, it's most likely the film is more fiction and jump scares than it is fact.
That's what I just said.
What
Oh
makes
my God,
Warner Brothers' The Conjuring stand out from its fellow paranormal rivals is its authenticity. According to Andrea Perrin, one of the young women who lived through the haunting and served as a film consultant, Hollywood had to tone the story down so that the Motion Pictures Association of America could settle on an R rating. When director James Wan asked what could be done for a PG-13 rating, the MPAA replied, nothing. The film was simply too scary. This is the true story behind The Conjuring.
I'm so excited.
Roger and Carolyn Perrin moved into the old Arnold estate in Harrisville, Rhode Island, with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, in January of 1971. They believed the 14-bedroom home with its expansive 200-acre property would be an idyllic place to raise their children. When the home seller passed the keys to the Perrin family, he only advised them, leave the lights on at night. They had no idea what he was referring to, but soon found out.
I just discovered an app that makes old photos come back to
Bruh.
life. Here's how to get your
Come
old
on
family
now.
photos onto your phone.
On move-in day, the Perrins had to fight against a snowstorm and immediately started having experiences. Andrea Perrin, who was only 12 at the time, recalls that she was handed a large box by her dad to place in the kitchen. As she walked into the dining room, she saw an oddly dressed man, who she politely greeted. In the kitchen, Andrea asked her mom who the man was, to which her mom replied there was no one. Her sisters then confirmed that the man had vanished, further foreshadowing events to come. The family dog and cats instantly did not trust the home.
They were thrashing themselves, and before long the
That
dog
was in the
dead.
beginning of The Conjuring. The dog died in the
Shortly
very
after,
beginning of the movie.
the cats left the
Spoiler.
home completely.
I got lip gloss on my finger. The struggle.
At first, the family only experienced simple things like brooms going missing and odd scraping sounds. But soon, things worsened. Birds would fly into their windows and clocks would consistently stop at 3:07 a.m.
Yeah, that was in the
Landline
beginning of The
phones
Conjuring.
regularly had
That
to be
was in the
replaced
movie.
because they would lift off the cradle until someone entered the room, after which they would slam back into the cradle. Blue lights were seen traveling through the home. Cindy Perrin, the second youngest daughter, witnessed their freezer
that sounds
door
weird.
open and close over and
Blue light,
over
how can a
as
spirit
items
create
were
a
thrown
blue
out,
light?
and nearly every night she would hear spirits tell her that there were 7 soldiers buried in the wall. The dishwasher would turn itself on and toilets would flush themselves. The family would hear objects crash through windows and no shattered glass would be found. The spirits would make the home smell like rotting flesh and would repeatedly lift beds around 5:15 in the morning. The ghosts would try calling Nancy to the cellar well.
Well, it was pulling her foot
The
in
Perrin daughters began to move around the house in packs because they were so afraid of what would happen next. Andrea Perrin remembers,
We traveled in numbers. We used the bathroom in multiples of 3 or more, because there was an evil male presence in that house that frequently lurked. You couldn't use the bathroom without feeling like you were being watched. It was extremely uncomfortable.
their father, Roger
I have a
Perrin,
story
at
time
first
for
denied
spookyFest.
that there was paranormal activity in the home. Andrea
Subscribe
Perrin
to see it
explains
because I'm going to
It
post
was
it at a
a
random
way
time.
to cope with the fact that he wasn't able to control his environment.
But his wife was far too affected. Reportedly, Carolyn Perrin was first taunted with pinches and slaps. Some have claimed
Oh, yeah, in
she
the
would
movie, the
feel
mom would
searing
have
pains
bruises and she
where it would appear she had been pierced by a sewing needle. The family believed their mother was being tormented by one of the many spirits in the home. Her name was Bathsheba. Carolyn
That's what
Perrin
they called her in
looked
the
into the
movie,
history
too.
of
They
the
didn't
old
bury her
Arnold
alive.
estate and found that there may have been several deaths on the premises. The property itself dates back to 1680, when it was deeded to the Richardson family after being surveyed by John Smith, one of the original Virginia colonists. The land was then sold in large parcels to
Don't
several
trust these
families
homes
in
built
the
in
area,
19-something.
including the Arnold family.
White people go
After
probably
which
like,
the estate was
y'all
named.
ancestors.
Allegedly, Mrs.
Don't even
John
lie, you know
Arnold
your ancestors,
of the Arnold
Warren.
estate family hung herself in the barn at the age of 93. There may have been more women who killed themselves in the house by hanging as well. It is also believed that there is history of a blacksmith shop on the property where 2 men froze to death. Furthermore, there is the legend of a woman by the name of Bathsheba.
Don't say
Bathsheba was accused of killing an infant that was in her care. The child was found
Don't
dead
leave your baby
with a
with the
needle
crazy
embedded
lady.
at the base of its skull, which caused it to die of convulsions. Bathsheba was exonerated, but shunned by the community. It was rumored
All you're
that
gonna
she
do
was a practicing
exonerate
Satanist.
her and shun her.
According to Andrea
Do more
Perrin,
than that.
The spirit of Bathsheba
Y'all need an
perceived
exorcist.
herself
She
to be
needs
the
an
mistress of the
exorcism.
house, and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position.
The Perrin family watched Carolyn gradually change before their eyes. She began to wear clothes as though she was from another time period, and she started using archaic language. At first,
Oh
the
my gosh,
family
yeah, in the
thought it
movie,
was
the mom
simply
was
because
getting,
Carolyn
like,
was a natural
possessed.
historian who was embracing her hobby. But when
She
concerns
turned
for
to a
Carolyn
different
grew, Ed and Lorraine Warren appeared on the Perrin
Remember, she
family's
was getting
doorstep.
beat up in her sleep in the beginning.
The Warrens were a pair of paranormal investigators. Ed was an expert demonologist, and Lorraine a medium.
Ed and
They
Lorraine.
met each other at age
They use the
16
same
and
names
married
in
in
the movie, I think.
1945. The couple got into haunted houses when Ed left art school after World War II, and the couple began taking trips in New England to sell his paintings to tourists. Ed was curious about places rumored to be haunted, so he would go visit and begin drawing the house from the road. Lorraine would then
Something I would
approach the people
probably do
living in the home
and be
and show them
terrified
Ed's
just to be
sketch of their
scared.
home. Through his art, the Warrens would get invitations into these
And
haunted
nothing's getting
homes
scary anymore.
and would speak to the families about their experience in the home. In 1952, the couple formed
Where
the
are they-
New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR, which they used to investigate reported hauntings and help those who were being haunted. The Warrens began their investigation at the old Arnold estate the night before Halloween in 1973. In a Q&A, Andrea Perrin clarifies that no one in the family had contacted the Warrens. They simply appeared at the Perrin family's door. The reason the Warrens knew about the Perrins was because someone pretending to be Carolyn Perrin contacted a young man and his paranormal investigation team from Rhode Island College.
When the young man entered their home, he had an experience that was so profound and so disturbing that he was the one that set out to contact Ed and Lorraine Warren on the family's behalf.
And after a year and a half of investigating the old Arnold estate and the Perrins, the Warrens concluded that a seance was necessary for Carolyn.
Don't do
The
it.
seance,
Oh my
Andrea
gosh, that's the
states,
biggest mistake
was
that people
far
will
more
make.
intense than anything they could have portrayed on film. It did not happen in the cellar. It happened in the dining room. And I knew from that moment, evil existed.
District Attorney.
Oh, whoa, commercial.
Been living with for some time.
This is just interesting. It's
I will
not
tell
really
you that they
scary.
brought a priest and a medium with them to the house, a full technical crew that were trying to film this event, and they inadvertently.
I had to pause it right here just to give you guys a disclaimer. For the rest of the video, I had some technical difficulties that I couldn't get around, but I really wanted to show you guys. So I left it how it was. You'll see.
Opened a door that they could not close. The medium invited the spirits in, and with them came something that attacked my mother. If she was possessed, it was for a brief period of time. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and what I know is that whatever attacked her was not of this world. It spoke through her in a language that does not exist on this planet, and it levitated her in the chair that she was in. And within a split second, when it was done curling her body into a ball, you would have expected to hear bones breaking. It threw her into the adjacent parlor about 20 feet away, in literally a split second. When my father tried to race to her side, Ed Warren grabbed his
It's 'cause
arm
y'all
to
wanna
stop
stand
him,
there and watch
and
her
my
flip
father
her and
turned around and
flip-flop
punched
her.
his lights out and took a man twice his size to the floor. Then, he told the Warrens to pack up everything that they brought to our home that night, including the medium and the priest and the technical crew that was filming and the audio people, and told them to get the hell out and never come back. Roger Perrin
My
did
eyes
not
are
want the
tearing.
Warrens' investigation to continue further because of the trauma the seance had put his wife through, which was unintentionally witnessed by 4 of their 5 children.
The spirits were quiet for several months after the seance.
Andrea's mother kept wasting away. But Andrea's Unfortunately, the parents had to stay in the home due to financial
Unfortunately,
instability.
the parents had to stay in the
The
home
family was finally
due to
able
financial
to, and
instability.
compelled to leave in
The family was
1980
finally able
because
to,
Andrea's mother
and compelled
said
to
that she
leave in
wouldn't survive
1980
another winter.
Because Andrea's mother said that she
The
wouldn't
parents started
survive
over
another
on a
winter.
newly built farm in Georgia,
The parents started
but they
over
weren't
on a
entirely
newly
able
built
to
farm
escape
in
what the
Georgia.
old Arnold
But they
estate
weren't
had
entirely
inflicted on
able
them.
to escape what the old
Andrea
Arnold estate
explains.
had
It
inflicted
resulted
on them.
in a divorce between my
followed
parents.
Andrea explains.
It began as
It
distrust.
resulted in a
My
divorce
father,
between my parents.
all but
It
insinuating
began
that
as
we were not
distrust.
being honest
My
with
father,
him,
all but
until he
insinuating
began
that we were
having
not being
incidents and
honest with
episodes
him.
of his own. But
Until he
by that
began
time,
having incidents
the
and
damage was
episodes
done,
of his own.
and it was too
But
late.
by that time,
And his 5 little
the damage
girls
was
weren't
done,
sharing
and it was
anything
too
with
late.
him. And
And
my
his
mother
5
had
little girls
emotionally
weren't
cut him
sharing
off.
anything with him.
She
And my mother
concludes.
had
We
emotionally
thought
cut
that when
him
we
off.
left the farm, that we
She
were leaving the
concludes.
spirits
We
behind,
thought that when we
and
left the
nothing could have been
farm,
further
that we were
from the
leaving the
truth.
spirits behind,
Profound
and
attachments were
nothing could have been
formed,
further from the
and have
truth.
persisted
Profound
lifelong.
attachments were formed.
Because when you
and
are
have
touched by a
persisted
spirit,
lifelong.
it is a door that
Because
opens
when you are touched by a
that can
spirit,
never be closed
it is a
again.
door that opens.
And you can turn your back on it,
It can never
and you
be
can
closed
pretend that
again.
it doesn't exist,
And you
but
can turn your
eventually,
back on it,
something
and you
is
can
going
pretend
to
that it
reach
doesn't
out
exist,
and
but
tap you on the
eventually,
shoulder
something is
and
going
make
to reach
its
out
presence known.
and tap you on the shoulder.
Andrea
and make
discloses
its
that the
presence
Warrens
known.
declared the old Arnold
Andrea
estate
discloses
haunting
that the Warrens
the most
declared
compelling,
the old
the
Arnold
most
estate
intense,
haunting,
the most
the most
disturbing,
compelling,
and the
the
most
intense,
significant
the most
investigation
disturbing,
they ever
and the
conducted.
most significant investigation they ever conducted.
Let me know in the comments down below what you think about that true story, and if I missed any of the real facts from the movie that actually happened and the similarities between the stories. I feel like the story was a little exaggerated, but knowing that it's based on a true story while you're watching the movie makes it 10 times scarier, because you're just like, dang, this happened to somebody? You telling me this happened to somebody? But yo, I have my own scary story of my own that I'm gonna be telling right here on this channel, so don't go nowhere. Stay right there, subscribe, and come back for more all October. Stay tuned and be patient. All October, you got the whole month ahead of you. Let me know any other really scary movies, scary anythings that you think that can scare me, because I don't think anything can scare me at this point. Like, I'm already I already like I have foresight, so I already can see what's, like, nothing can really surprise me at this point anymore, like, unless it's a jump scare, because them jump scares in the movie The Conjuring had me scared in the movie theaters. Okay, I was one of the, like, almost had a heart attack. Oh my god, this is scary. Later. Like, comment, subscribe.